Hello everyone, welcome to the Boleyn Lounge. I'm Jeff. Thanks to everyone for joining me. If you could please take the time to like the video, and if you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. It's really much appreciated. So I've named this show the Not in the Know Show, simply because that is what it is. It's just my take on some of the rumours that are reported surrounding our club. I don't have the benefit of any ITK knowledge or contacts inside the club. I just consume the rumours much the same as everyone else through articles and all the so-called sources that are out there that are pretty much available to all of us if we take the time to have a look about for them. Well, never a dull moment being a West Ham fan. This last week or so has really broadened out that statement. There's so much that's been happening with the rumours and speculation over who might replace the manager, right through to alleged #1 targets for our summer transfer. I mean, crazy. We're still in February. But what I want to talk about today is the hierarchy of our club in this video. Because I think some of the stuff that's going on has the potential to have quite a big impact on our club. So we've started the rumours at the beginning of the week around our director of football. Further links to the job at Liverpool. Some suggesting he's flashing his knickers. And quotes of him being mostly satisfied at West Ham, or words to that effect. Along with being flattered with the link, but that no official approach had been made. Well, hardly did too much to dispel that line of thinking. And then, of course, there's further noises and reports that actually he's been hamstrung and his role regarding recruitment, he doesn't wield the power that he had expected in the role, and he's becoming increasingly frustrated. You probably couldn't blame him for that if a lot of the stuff that's out there is actually true. But everything really that you hear sort of raises more questions than answers. Many of the YouTube channels that I watch, they've been happy to promote the idea that Tim will be instrumental in appointing Moyes' successor. Now, as in, he's been out there and actively seeking out candidates. There's even been speculation that Steidten's got his man already. He's lined up and waiting to join us in the summer. But if he's really being undermined in the transfer market and elsewhere in the club, and his role is not really what he thought it would be when he came here, can we really buy into the idea that he's going to be given a free hand and full control over the next managerial appointment? I don't know. For what it's worth, my not in the know opinion is that Tim probably was undermined in January. I don't know if it was by Moyes and the rumoured rejections of players and all that other stuff that's going around. There might be some truth in it. But I think it's pretty certain that he was undermined by Sullivan. And if, as it appears, Sullivan is not going to give up in his meddling ways, why would anyone think that he would give Tim free rein over any appointment in the future, really? Although he was allowed to bring in Max and Moritz, if anyone knows what their qualifications are, please do let me know. But I suppose Max at least does look like a data analyst. So fingers crossed he's going to fit the bill. Moritz, I really don't know what his qualifications are, but it seems he's been a scout for 5 minutes, so should be well placed to help transform us to the next level. Or his brother sorted him out a nice little number, jobs for the boys post and all that. I don't know, but here we go. My not in the know verdict on this little news story is I've got no bloody idea really if Tim's going to go to Liverpool, if he's not, if he's been undermined, if he hasn't. He seems to be building the team he wants around him, so you'd like to think that he's staying. But if Sully really is undermining him the way it appears, well, if Liverpool were to make a serious offer, you couldn't really blame him if he did decide to jump ship. Anyway, as if that wasn't enough at the beginning of the week, by midweek we were hearing stories about Kretinsky and how he wasn't happy with things at West Ham. We don't hear a lot from Kretinsky. He's a bit like a sleeping partner in a way. So I suppose it's little wonder that it sparked some rumours that maybe he'd be considering attempting to become a majority shareholder at the club so that he could run things and do it how he wanted. But for a few reasons, that doesn't really ring true for me. I mean, it seems though he'd be amongst those that would have a buying option on the gold shares. But he doesn't seem, along with all the other board holders really, board members, to have shown any interest in that. So if he did have intentions of trying to take further control of the club or a bigger shareholding, surely he'd be sniffing about those shares, or perhaps even persuading them to sell a bigger portion of their shares, and then he would really be able to get himself a controlling interest. I mean, that's kind of what everyone thought when he initially joined the club and he made his first investment, that he would be looking to assume control at a later date. But it seems to me that he's just satisfied simply to be an investor. And he's quite heavily involved in his boyhood club, Sparta Prague. And the multi-club ownership rules in UEFA, that's a bit of a complication. And I think if he wants to take a bigger stake in a club, it's more likely that he would do that at Sparta than at West Ham. Certainly looking at how he's conducted himself so far. And the value of West Ham's increased quite significantly since he joined the club by, a couple of $100 million or so. So if he did become frustrated, he might just decide to cash in, move his shares on, make a tidy profit, just wash his hands of West Ham altogether. So sort of leads on to another thing, because it can all get quite messy really. So if the goal to selling their shares, and if Kretinsky decide to sell a portion or all of his shares, that's got the potential to create a bit of a mess in the boardroom, as if things weren't really complicated enough with the multi-committee board that we seem to have. Anyway, the not in the know verdict on this rumour is probably just a storm in a teacup, really. I don't really expect Kretinsky to increase or decrease his shareholding in West Ham imminently. But, like I say, I don't really know anything. That's just my best guess. Still, if that wasn't enough, all in 1 week, we end up finishing the week with the news that Moyes is staying. Or maybe he's going. He just hasn't made his mind up yet. And he's going to let us all know at the end of the season. I don't know about that. So, some other rumours are out there that Moyes has gone a bit rogue with this and announced the contract was all there, waiting to be wrapped up and put in front of him. All he's got to do is sign it. Seems a bit of a strange announcement, or at least the way that he's done it seems a bit strange. It's sort of littered with things that don't really make much sense if he were to stay. It suggests that he's leaving. He cited things like what's best for the club, his family, how it's been a wonderful 4 years, blah, blah. I don't think he inserted the European Cup win in there, but I'm sure he'll find room for it. But it does make you wonder, someone who appeared so keen to get his contract sorted out just a few short weeks ago, and then not sign a deal that's put in front of him on the table. If the talks with Brady and Sullivan were quite as positive as it's made out, I don't know. Make the announcement in that way, in a weekly press conference, just seems especially strange, especially from Moyes. He's usually quite coy in these press conferences and doesn't want to give out a lot of information about much. But who knows? And of course, that resulted in further rumours that the board were not happy with this announcement. And no doubt there's going to be the usual to-ing and fro-ing of rumours and leaks on the subject from the usual ITKs and sometimes unnamed sources for days and perhaps even weeks to come. But my not in the know verdict on this is I actually think Moyes is not so cryptically saying he's likely to be leaving in the summer. But I think he's left himself enough room to stay on. But I also think there's a bit in that statement that's just him trying to avoid being sacked, and little statements like I'll see out my contract and one thing and another kind of gives him a chance to leave with his head held high in a way. And the board can take a soft option as well, and they won't have to actually sack him. It's just come to a natural end. I don't know. We'll see. And anyway, we keep getting told we should be careful what we wish for. And should we? Well, there's a good proportion of fans out there who want to see the back of David Moyes, want a better brand of football. Why shouldn't we want a better brand of football? Certainly then we're being served up now. And I don't see any reason why we can't play better football than we do now. And finish mid-table, which is pretty much exactly where we are now. So, the arguments about, do you want to change the style of play? Now you're sitting in 6th and 7th, but that's all wearing a bit thin. It's not really relevant any longer. There is no reason we couldn't play a better style of football than we do now and be sitting mid-table or even higher. Why can't we be sitting 6th or 7th and play better football? Anyway, if we lose our director of football, many of our fans have put so much faith in him to be the one to lead us in the right direction. And if there were genuine unrest in the boardroom, whether that be through new investors or just within our existing board members, we could actually find ourselves in a position where David Moyes just decides to leave in the summer. Tim jumps ship, buggers off to Liverpool, and we're left with Sullivan choosing our next manager, controlling transfers. I have to say, I don't think that's something any of us would wish for. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this short video, quick wrap up of some of the rumours surrounding the club hierarchy. And thank you for watching. And please give me your thoughts in the comment section. And well, I hope to see you all again soon.